I would love for you to share what technologies or innovations from today you would see becoming primitive.
Maybe a personal computer would kind of go out of the question. So 15 years hence, you do not need to go kilometers. Orbit reality.
Wow. One vision that BLS E-Services has that you would like to share.
BLS services, we believe we stand by the vision of delighting the citizen and steering the nation.
Beautifully put. Do you think people will use cash in 2039?
See, cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are in for a treat as we welcome a true trailblazer in the world of technology and financial inclusivity, Lokanath Panda, the Chief Operating Officer of BLS E-Services. From revolutionizing mobile payment systems with MCheck back in the day to spearheading BLS E-Services into a billion-dollar fintech powerhouse, Lokanath's journey is nothing short of legendary. He dreams big. Welcome, Lokanath. Welcome to the Thomson Andrews show, Unveiling Journeys. I'm thrilled to take you on an inspiring ride through the lives of incredible personalities, from top celebrities to visionary leaders. Join me as we uncover career challenges, personal growth, and the transformative moments that define their journeys. Let's dive in and get inspired.
Hello, sir. Welcome. We have the iconic Mr. Lokanath Panda, the COO of BLS E-Services, and he is a true trailblazer in the world of technology. Thank you for coming on Thomson Andrews show, Unveiling Journeys, and thank you for taking our time and coming here to share your insights with our viewers. Thank you. Please answer. How are you doing today?
Great, Arjun.
Well, it means a lot that you've come here, and we are going to be hearing some fantastic insights into the world of technology from you. I'd love to begin to ask you, you've been at the forefront of technological innovation for decades now. What's been the most game-changing innovation you've been a part of, and what was your inspiration behind that?
See, we at BLS E-Services are transforming public services through digital AI innovation, right? So, and we are taking the public services to the citizens in the last mile through various innovative means, whether it is a digital platform blended with a physical network, right? Or new innovative products and services that affect the people in positive ways. So our journey has been that we have been working on three separate kind of verticals to help reach these innovations to the in public services. So the first one is we are working with banks to include a vast number of people who were either unserved or underserved over the years through the banking channel. So we are taking banking innovation, banking products and services to these people.
Brilliant.
So that's the first vertical. The second vertical is taking public services to citizens, which is the government to citizen services. We digitize those and take it to the masses for delivering government services. The third vertical is on assisted e-services, where we are providing a several host of services like assisted e-commerce or insurance or ticketing services or mobility services, the host of services that are so-called B2C, business to consumer services.
Yes.
So that's how they kind of serve the citizens. So our punchline is that we are, delighting citizen and strengthening the nation.
Lovely. And you're doing a fantastic job at that. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing that insight. BLS E-Services has transformed access to government services and beautifully bridged technology between urban and rural India. So I would love to know how this thought process comes in, what's the entire process in layers, and how have you created and bridged this gap between both these sectors?
See, BLS E-Services derives its strength from a very strong parentage, which is BLS International Limited, which has been serving citizens across the world, uh, from North America to Europe to Africa to Asia and in other parts of the world, uh, for visa, consular, and citizen services, right, for various governments. And BLS International has a presence in over 67 countries, right? And BLS International provides these services through digital mechanisms, and a very well trusted global partner for various governments, including the Indian government, going to other countries, right? So, why not take the global standard and global best practices to also serve the rural and the semi-urban and the urban, underprivileged segment and so many part of our
Different sectors
demographic,
of
right? So
Mantri.
that was the motivation for
Lovely.
kind of taking the best-in-class technology for citizen services in the country, because India represents a huge demographics.
Indeed, it does.
Indeed. Right. So we provide our services to various segments, starting from elderly citizens, where we are providing doorstep services to them, to rural entrepreneurs, women, youth, even minors for opening their accounts, student accounts and stuff like that. And also we provide various other segment of government services, which starts with land record automation. Right, so we are providing land record automation services in Gujarat and West Bengal. We are providing host of digital government services through our network in Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, right, in other parts. And similarly, the banking and the assisted services across the country, through the length and breadth of the country. So we are present across the country, over 600 districts in the country.
Fantastic. So, from what you beautifully said, sir, I would love to ask you to shed some more light on land record automation, because I think that is very, very important right now. And what does that entail?
So if you look at land record registration process in the country, right? Traditionally, you had a sub register office,
Yes.
and you go there and do a physical set of paper,
More like an analog mode.
analog mode, right? So as we are developing more technology in the country, and all you have a geotagging of the land and stuff like that. So we enhance the technological capability of the sub register office, right? So where we kind of digitize the whole journey for the citizen that is trying to register,
Acquire or buy or sell.
and we provide a very seamless experience for them to come and have their registration. And of course, the approvals always happen from the government, but we digitalize the process and handhold these citizens through the process.
Talking about digitizing these services and digitizing a lot to create a convenience factor for our citizens, how have you seen the shift from analog mode to digital mode, and how has it benefited the people in 2024 in this digital world?
See, if you see, the transition of digital that is happening across the country, and we are many things that we are doing are part of the digital innovation, right? So we are integral part of that journey. So the country itself is shifting towards the digital mode.
Absolutely.
And the youth is kind of leading that the charge, and we are able to take very user friendly systems to them, and the citizens like the services. We kind of simplify our services, time and again on various verticals, right? And which provides a seamless user experience to them, and it's easy for them.
That's easy for them.
So the adoption has been phenomenal, actually.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to you for taking that initiative in terms of you and the entire team at BLS for making this a possibility for our citizens, because I think the digital world is just going up and flourishing even more. And now with AI and technology, I would love to know how BLS is including these technologies and evolving in providing better services and more, I think, time efficient ways to do things.
So, if you look at our technology offerings, right, we are cutting across different segments, right? So, our technology works with banks, our technology works with government departments, whether it's the central government agency or the state government agency, our services work with insurance companies, our services work with ticketing system like an IRCTC or a bus ticketing. Our technology works with mobility service providers, something like a car company which is trying to sell a car in a village, right?
Oh.
Or a electric vehicle setup, or it is to do with somebody who wants to access financial services like a loan or any other financial product. Also for people who are new to bank, right? The large segment of people that we are targeting are people who are new to bank, right?
Yeah.
So those people we are kind of trying to intrude into the system through our technology. So it's it is a continuous process of
Yeah.
innovation. It's simplifying processes for people, for it to be user friendly, and also to be in sync with various regulation and compliance requirements across
Yeah.
the board, right? So that these systems stand the test of time, because we are a long-term player.
Yeah.
We kind of keep systems which kind of go on for a very long time.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's brilliant. And talking about the changes that you've made, I'd love to know, to go a little back into flashback. What's the story behind MCheck? Because how did it pave the way for mobile payment ecosystem that we see today? Because you've been a very, very integral part of MCheck.
So I'm a student of engineering. So I look at things a little from the perspective of what could happen, right? So, and when we were looking at the country, we were in the early 2000s, right? Yeah, we were looking at a country which didn't have its own payment system,
Yes.
right? We were kind of coming up in the technology curve, but we were not quite there, right? So the telecom revolution that you see, that has paved the way for,
Yeah.
a lot of people coming into the mobile and internet, that didn't exist at that time, right? And we were looking at payment systems which were global, which were ruling the roost here, right? So we were trying to build a domestic system, which is by the country and for the country, right? And we developed a very nice and very cost-effective solution by putting the payment system on the mobile SIM card of a consumer. And also the same could be used by a merchant, right? So we had a merchant app on the SIM card, and we had a customer app on the SIM card, and we integrated with the largest bank, which is State Bank of India, and the largest private bank, which is ICICI Bank. And we put this on the system of Airtel. So, so you had three
You had telecom partner,
telecom
you
partner
had
and the banking partner.
banking partners.
And it kind of, so a ICICI customer who could be a merchant could transact with a customer who is from SBI, right? And that worked in a very cost-effective way.
Yeah, with the strategic partnerships bringing in their strengths
Yeah.
to make this happen.
And that quickly kind of caught imagination of other countries. So we kind of implemented it in about 18 countries.
Wow. So, if I'm not wrong, then you are the pioneer in this segment.
You can say that.
That's fantastic. Very inspiring. And since there's so many great things that BLS does, and you're such an integral part of BLS, I would love to know a little about you on your journey. Maybe how you started from your career, your education, and what inspired you to, as a professional, as a corporate professional today, to make these changes in the world and also keep growing up the ladder.
So I came from a remote village in Odisha. I studied electrical engineering and started working in the technology space in Bangalore first. And that's how the innovation of MCheck happened. And we came across, we were trying to take the payment system also to different other verticals, right?
Yeah.
So when we were creating the payment system for merchants, we were also seeing gaps in other systems like transportation. So there was no metro at that point in time.
Yeah.
There was no automatic fare collection. So it meant something for automatic fare collection. So we called it Go Mumbai, and this was launched for BST and the local railways, right? And that worked well. And we took the use case further, and we wanted to take it to the masses. And we were talking to the regulators, we were talking to banks, and banks were not allowed at that point in time to serve customers outside of the bank branch. So there was a,
Oh.
so you know there were not ATMs. There were
Yeah.
very few ATMs, and those were also housed inside the
bank itself.
So what they call popularly as the banking hall. So nothing outside of the banking hall existed for consumers, and for large segment of the society, people are really afraid of going to so to say white collar environment, right? So
If I may ask, why is that so?
it's because of class divide, right? So the traditionally the banks have been serving the rich people or the middle class, and people at the lower end of the
People spend low income.
low income bracket, they would not feel so comfortable going and standing in the long queue and getting served, and the banks used to issue a token for them.
Yeah.
So the experience for the customer was not so great.
So
at
great.
that point in time, and RBI made a timely intervention. So in 2006, RBI brought a circular for financial inclusion. By that, the regulators meant that please, hey banks, please include the whole population into the
Yeah, not for
Banking.
only the segment of the top
segment.
1 or 10% of India, but the rest of the entire population. Yeah.
And when that circular came, that was like game changer moment for us, right? Because the enabling regulation didn't exist prior to that to
Yeah.
take the banking system to the
Next
masses,
level.
right?
Mm.
And because we were at that point at the high end of that tech, and we were creating systems for it, we quickly built up the whole hardware and the software and the systems, and we could showcase to the regulators and the technology arm of the regulators in the banks,
Yeah.
and which was liked by the then dispensation, and also the Ministry of IT looked at it, and and this system was then taken through SBI. SBI was the pioneer with this because they are the largest bank,
Yes.
and they wanted to serve these customers. So they asked us to take it first in a village in Mizoram, which is the
Oh.
easternmost northeast district in the state in the country.
So that was like your test ground
That the
for
test
this.
So the whole team from Mumbai moved
To Mizoram.
stayed in Mizoram for 25 days to make it.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So because you take an urban tech to a rural environment, so there are bound to be certain small glitches to happen.
Of course.
Especially
And also that is part of the market research. You know,
Yeah.
that you can, if you are finding that change, then how can you make it more convenient for them, which is eventually on the same level as a city person.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful way.
So we covered a Delhi village, with network challenges and other telecom issues and stuff like that. And the technology worked very well. We could cover the villagers. We could open an account for them through the system in SBI, and we could allow them to do their day-to-day transactions, whether it is deposit of cash or withdrawal of cash or receiving remittance from somebody else, right?
Sorry.
And so SBI called it bank in a box. Also, they called it SBI Tiny. So it's a small.
SBI Tiny.
Right.
How long back was this?
This was 2006-7,
Wow.
right?
And I was surely tiny.
So since that technology worked, and then banks took it to different other tough terrains. So we took it to the Himalayan terrain in Pithoragarh and Uttarakhand, and we made it work at that height. And then it was adopted across the country. So various banks came forward, and and over time the regulators have kind of kept pace. Rather, they've set the tone as well
Yeah.
for increasing. And the second level of game-changing moment that happened was in 2014 when the current Prime Minister, named the scheme after himself. So he called it Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojna. Alright. So Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojna made extremely popular. So while we had the tech and the ability to deploy and all that, it was moving at a slower pace of adoption.
But now you had this
You
additional
had this
government push.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people kind of included. So today, if you see, the Pradhan Mantri Jandhan Yojna covers close to 55 crore customer. 55% of that is rural.
It's wonderful.
Right? So the participation
Level has
is
increased.
pretty high, and also initially there were skeptics that poor people may not save, but these people have saved money in these accounts, and today we see close to 2.37 trillion rupees lying
Wow.
in these accounts. Right.
Wow, that's quite commendable, and that's brilliant, because I think India is seeing a parallel shift to being India is at par as a total superpower, and to see this shift of phase from where it was to digitally becoming empowered is so wonderful, and especially the rural areas getting empowered because of digitization and availability of mobile phones and Wi-Fi and everything, and your services adding on. It's such a wonderful amalgamation to watch and also to witness in 2024 and beyond. I want to know for sure, while as BLS and as individuals, as professionals, you're all striving to make India a better place, a more advanced nation. From all aspects, there might be teething issues in setting things up, or even while you're trying to get a certain point across. There are certain ways that people like to work always, and to get that mindset change. How did you all deal with that, and a few insights on what challenges you had and how you kind of turn those challenges into opportunities?
See, India being such a diverse country, right? Both in terms of demographics and geography, and education, and if you look at any angle of development index, India has its own variations. Right?
True.
Because it's a wide spectrum, right? So infrastructural challenge remains always, right? So, but then we develop systems around it, right? If I find that the connectivity is an issue, then I build a system that could work on low connectivity.
Fantastic.
If I find that education is an issue, then I work digital literacy initiative. I work on financial initiatives.
You get at the core of the
issue.
the pain points.
Because ultimately the aim is to make it work, because unless the whole spectrum is covered,
Yeah.
the usage doesn't improve, right?
True.
So our aim is not just to take the service and the product to the masses, we also want usage to happen. So whether it is in Aadhaar services, we are doing a lot of work on the UIDI Aadhaar system. We are doing the quality checks, we are doing enrollments, we are doing updation services, right? We work with National Health Authority for quality checks on the National Health reports, the Ayushman Bharat program, right? So we do quite a bit of government to citizen services on both on the delivery side and on the consumer systems and the back end system. Similarly with banks, similarly with insurance, and similarly with other players. So it is a constant effort actually that it should work, right? We have started a new service called Doorstep banking service in the
Doorstep banking.
services for senior citizens particularly,
Okay.
including super seniors, which are 80 plus, right?
That's a very, very interesting
And-
topic, which I would love for you to elaborate on, because a lot of our viewers are also senior citizens, and this is definitely going to make things much more comfortable for all of you.
So, while we are developing banking and citizen service, public service systems, we also realize that there are certain segment of population which may not be able to come to our touch points.
Yeah.
So we have a very wide touch point network. We have more than 1 lakh touch points across the country. So even then we see that certain segment population cannot come to these outlets to avail of the services, which means you have to then go to them.
Yeah, take the service
Take
to
the
their
services
home,
to
take
their
the bank to their home.
Especially people who are having limited mobility, right, and elderly, right, and women of So we are serving pensioners, we are serving, senior citizens, we are serving women at their doorstep as well. So
Fantastic.
both through the touch point as well as through the agent network which kind of moves and delivers these services, both urban and rural. Right.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, those are some wonderful insights on all the great things that BLS E-Services is doing. And now I'd love to shift our conversation into an interactive game segment called the Tech Time Capsule. So I would imagine that you've traveled 15 years into the future, Lokanath sir, and I would love for you to share what technologies or innovations from today you would see becoming primitive, like redundant.
Maybe a personal computer would kind of go out of the equation, right?
Okay.
So much of AI innovation, so much of
Yeah.
innovation on the semiconductor space, and
Yeah.
things happening. Maybe that would go out of the window over.
Prefer personal computers. Let's have another two more.
I guess a lot of public services, right, would have turned digital. Like today, it's part of the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN.
Yeah.
There still is a certain number of services that are, kind
In
of
person.
not reached that stage of digitization where so 15 years hence you do not have to go to a government office. Government will help you.
Wow. Government आपके घर पे आएगी. Not for anything wrong that you've done, but more for the positive to uplift you and to take you towards growth. Well, thank you for that insight. And I want to ask you, since we are on Tech Time Capsule, how will rural banking change by 2039? अगर हम imagine ही कर रहे हैं future के बारे में.
See, what we have achieved over the last 2 decades almost is that we have brought the people into the banking segment, right, which were so far not covered, right? So the first step has been kind of achieved more or less, right? A large number of households, I would say almost all households have come into the banking fold, right? That doesn't mean the journey ends there, it's just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Which means they have opened an account, they have started doing a little bit of saving, right? Over time, they will develop habits which are very conducive for a developed economy, right? How will you develop the economy with so many people left behind, right? So this segment of population will move to use credit, they would use investment products, they would kind of become entrepreneurs, right? Many more entrepreneurship would come out of the hinterland,
Yes.
right?
We need more entrepreneurs in this world.
And and there'll be very good financial habits, I would say,
Brilliant.
right?
More saving, more, I think more calculated and more conscious efforts on spending in a more wise and structured way, and also investing in a structured way which will just uplift their own financial stability and freedom,
Yes.
get them to financial freedom.
To add to that, we, as the financial inclusion journey has, it's the country has taken 15, 17 years of journey already.
Yeah.
So now new products have started kind of rolled out to the same people. So now social security is coming in. If if you were asking somebody 15 years back, do you have a pension? So people would say that's only for government service. Right?
Yeah.
Today
We have PPF.
we have PPF. We have gone a step further with Atal Pension Yojna, right? So you do save a small amount of money when you are 18 years to 40 years of age, and by 2039, by the time you reach 60,
The future.
you would start earning a pension, which is guaranteed, and which guarantees pension to you, to your after
Your family
and the family and the children, right?
Oh, that's brilliant.
So the you and the spouse and then the children, right?
Lovely.
So this kind of revolution would have happened by then because people have started saving for micro pension. Similarly, there are other social security measures like Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojna, which is a life insurance scheme, right? there is a Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojna, which is a accidental death insurance policy, right? And the likes, right? So there are several social security measures, several credit measures that today you see, credit being given to the street vendors, to the PM Swaraj Yojna,
Yeah.
right? There is Mudra loan that is empowering a lot of movement and small entrepreneurs, right?
True.
So these are all in the right direction, So it's
Love it. No, it is. It is. Thank you for that insight, and it's wonderful to hear that these options are there, and we all are aware in some way or form that the government is constantly introducing new and new programs to uplift the citizens. But since we are on the conversation on talking about the future, do you think people will use cash in 2039?
See, cash, it's a, cash would exist, right? They
It would still.
yes, it would, because there are certain use cases that would still need cash, the comfort of cash. Maybe it would move to a digital form through the central bank digital currency,
True.
right? But cash is not going away.
Cash is not going any.
However, the digital payment ecosystem is expanding. So
Yeah.
more and more and more use cases will get.
Yeah, the percentage of cash versus digital is going to be
However, it would
turn out.
turn out. Yeah. So it both will coexist.
Yeah.
But the move to digital is kind of certain.
Yeah. Well, you have made some really, really big moves, and in the corporate world, and your goal is to take BLS E-Services into the billion-dollar club. So, what's your strategy for making that happen? Because there is an ample amount of work and strategizing, and also making sure that you make the right moves to accomplish that.
See, we have been kind of constantly evaluating how things pan out, right? So if you have seen, we made a few acquisitions over the past, right? When VLSE services started, it started with a lot of citizen services. It made an acquisition of the company called Starfin India, the private limited, which was working with banks for financial inclusion, several of the banks in the early. And then it made a big move by kind of acquiring a company called Zero Mass Private Limited, which is the largest business correspondent of State Bank of India.
Yeah.
Right. So that kind of catapulted BLSE services to being the largest in this space, right? And then we have been constantly working with other clients, the government clients, whether it's the central government agencies like UIDI or National Health Authority, or working with state government agencies for land reports, for other services, right? And also working with insurance companies and working with other entities. So we have been constantly innovating and constantly growing this network through various means. And we kind of took a decision to take the company public, right? And we were, BLC Services had a very successful IPO in February 2000.
Congratulations. And it's wonderful that had that response also, and that the news, and it's all over on ADTV and all the fantastic work you are doing.
And we were the first ones to, in this space, to kind of take that step, right? So once we have taken the company public, this also gives a lot of credibility to the company to go and converse business with larger entities, right? Because we are working with very large entities, banks and government entities, and so on and so forth. So this gives a lot of credibility in going and conversing for more business. So that's a strategic move where we can go and converse more business. We are on a constant lookout for even other opportunities inorganic. While we are growing our network organically, while we are growing our digital work organically, we are still looking for certain acquisitions, right?
True.
And very recently, we have taken a 57% stake in a company called Fidelis.
Congratulations.
And that is on the loan aggregation, loan sourcing activity. So that further enhances our network. We already are working with 1 lakh touch points. Fidelis brings another 8,000 network of specialized loan sourcing entities. So we can do a lot of cross match and kind of cross leverage this, right?
So that actually I don't see it being far that you're going to reach that goal very soon. If
Absolutely.
right? And I do personally wish all the best to the company, because I'm sure that's where you're headed, and it's definitely going to happen. That's for sure. And you were saying beyond that as well.
So we work on both fronts. We are fairly focused on revenue and profitability, right? Because without remaining profitable and without having a business model that sustains itself,
Yeah.
you can't run such a large operation managers,
Yeah.
right? At the same time, we are very socially conscious company. So our work is a social leveler, right? So it is leveling, education divide. It is leveling, the class divide and the so and so forth. Also the infrastructure divide, right?
True.
Rural versus urban kind of activity, and we are also focused a lot on education, right? Whether it is financial literacy, whether it is providing, we have tie-ups with, you know, an entity like ARCAD in Rajasthan, where we are providing technical education to rural women for them to come forward and kind of take technical jobs. So we kind of partner with Microsoft and Amazon Web Services and those kind of courses we offer through the ARCAD platform in Rajasthan. So we are also focused in that direction where we kind of uplift people. Many of the people that we employ also come from the local ecosystem, which is in the same
wonderful.
district.
That's wonderful.
So, the touch points are local. Right? They are sourced from the local setup. Our employees even in a district are local, right? And then we train, upskill them, and bring them forward. So many of our people who are today heading some line of business would have come from that.
And that also is a testament of growth for BLS, because I think once you see your own employees growing and they come from different cultures, they're all rooted in the areas that you want change, and once they are associated in the company, then they also drive that change even more.
Yeah.
And then they also become advocates of that change within BLS. So that's brilliant. Lokanath sir, you have blended digital innovation with a human touch in BLS's Phygital model. So what's the secret to getting that balance right? And please elaborate to us, what is a Phygital model?
See, BLS kind of serves consumers, customers, citizens through the is physical touch points closer to their habitation, right? And all our physical touch points are backed by a very strong digital platform, right? So that everything that happens at the physical touch point between the village level entrepreneur or the franchisee that which manning the physical outlet and the citizen for the service has an audit trail, right? So whether it's a banking service, whether it's the citizen service of the government, whether it is an assisted e-service, everything is real time, everything has a trail, and everything is transparent, right? Including the charges that are levied on the consumers, if there are any, and the transactions with a receipt and with complete transparency for the citizen. So they are comfortable, right?
Okay.
So also the phygital, so we say the physical and the digital backed system helps in making it very user friendly, right? Because if it was a direct to consumer platform, in certain segments of population, there might be an issue in terms of them understanding it. If it has to be a system where there is a pin to be remembered, so to say, a lot of people may not be able to remember the pin, right? Or if there is a signature required, right?
True.
A lot of people may not be able to provide that signature, right?
True.
So the assisted service helps this setup. Also, there are mobility issues when you are, let's say, serving a senior citizen. People are not able to kind of move themselves, and these services can only happen through an assisted services. It cannot practically provide a direct to consumer to access to that. So the Phygital setup is really valuable to that extent to reach that last mile.
Lovely. And as you also told me earlier in our offline conversation that ELS e-services is a mix of a B2B and a B2C, and you all haven't yet forayed into the D2C model yet. Is that something you're envisioning in the future?
Yeah, I guess it would be a natural transition at some point in time, right? We are very much focused on reaching these consumers through the B2C and the B2B model
Yeah.
through an assisted model. Also, this kind of creates a lot of local entrepreneurs, right, who promote these services because it provides them an earning opportunity and an
Yeah.
employment opportunity.
Lovely. And you also advocated and spoken about women empowerment and, the importance of financial independence to be created for women. So, what initiatives are you most proud of as an individual who has spearheaded these kind of initiatives in every aspect of your career and especially at BLS e-services?
Yeah. See, a lot of government schemes are kind of aimed at empowering women, and we are at the forefront of kind of delivering those services. Whether it is PMJDY accounts for women, who represent, by the way, 55% of the total accounts open for the population, right? And women also are known to be more disciplined about saving habits, right? So,
Well, on that point, I want to tell all the women that's a very, very big statement. And also, I agree and I find it's the truth because I think my wife is doing a fantastic job at facilitating that habit into me. So, thank you for shedding light on that. Please continue.
and we are also at the forefront of delivering direct benefit transfers to these women beneficiaries through various schemes. State by state, there are schemes, there are central schemes. We were at the forefront of delivering the, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojna, which kind of provided, 500 rupees per month to the women at the time of COVID to kind of get over the family distress, right? And this channel kind of really delivered that on time, of course through social distancing measures and a lot of disciplined approach in delivering that service, but that was very, very useful. We have been delivering various other government schemes, like in Jharkhand we are doing the Maya benefit scheme, which is benefiting, or in Odisha we are doing Sumantra scheme benefit disbursements. In Maharashtra, we have been at the forefront of delivering, the Ladki Bahin scheme. In Madhya Pradesh, the Ladla, the Ladli Bai scheme. So if I'm getting wrong some of those names.
No, that's fine.
Right. And we are engaging with a lot of self-help group women as our entrepreneurs for in a scheme called BC Sakhi World, right?
Okay.
So and they are delivering the services to even further fellow women. Our network represents. Our network has already about 17% of our network is run by women in the villages, and our aim is to take it to at least 20% very soon. We have started kind of talking to people on getting at least 50% new onboarding that happens have to be men.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a game changer in the for women, and there are so many schemes that are involved as a company for women empowerment. So that's fantastic, and kudos to you and the team because that's a very, very important sector of our society, and to uplift women is a very important aspect for us as a country and as people as well. So I'd love to share this beautiful quote, these two quotes that really, really resonate with me and a lot of people as well. One is by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. a developed India by 2022 and beyond is not a dream. It should be a mission we all are dedicated to. So he mentioned 2022, but I think this resonates to every single decade that's going to come. Very, very important. And another one is financial inclusion is not an option, it is a necessity for inclusive growth. This was by Arun, Mr. Arun Jaitley, former Finance Minister of India. And there are certain things which are so strong as a message and also pave the way for thought leaders like you to constantly be working towards making India a better place, a more accessible place for people across the rural part of India and urban, and also bridging that gap. So, one vision that BLS E-Services has that you would like to share with our viewers, sir.
Our, at BLS services, we believe we stand by the vision of delighting the citizen and strengthening the nation.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. Very, very at the core, focusing more on the experience and creating an experience that will be benefiting the consumers. That's a very, very noble cause. So thank you for sharing that. And I'd love to have a quick game with you on this topic to take away from the conversation and delve into an interactive segment called the Rapid Vision. All right. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to share a futuristic idea for a service probably you think that BLS could launch.
See, we are looking at a lot of cross-sell and upsell opportunities, right? So we have explored, the world of insurance. One of our companies has already got a corporate agency license for insurance. We are working on that. We are working at mobility, especially in the EV space. We are working for ticketing systems. We are working at other government and semi-government systems that are issue a PAN card, BC, other services. So there are constant lot of services that kind of would come in our journey. I think over time we would kind of switch toward more of lending, more of investment in other services. Right.
Lovely. And if I were to say, what if BLS E-Services had to create a solution for maybe it's space tourism? You never know. BLS, why I ask you is BLS
So-
as a company is already across the globe.
Yeah, so
And-
the way I would put it is that we are already in the wide spectrum, right? BLC services is available from the remotest part of the country, whether it's Arunachal Pradesh or Jammu Kashmir or Andhra, to the city of Mumbai and Delhi. And BLC internationally is kind of working across the globe in several countries, in all continents, right? So if we have to move to the Mars, why not?
Why not? And you already are making such big moves because BLS International has acquired, a company in Turkey, as you mentioned. Could you shed some light on the accolades as a global company that BLS has, which you were mentioning, Denise?
So BLS International, is also growing in its space, quite big, I would say. Even though I represent BLS E-Services, but my parentage is BLS International, and BLS International has gone in, acquiring a company called iData in Turkey, which was in the press as well, and it has acquired a company called Citizenship Invest in UAE, right? So yeah, BLS International also is kind of growing and doing both organic and inorganic work.
Thank you, Lokanath sir, for sharing so many different touch points and different insights and valuable suggestions and points for us to understand your level of impact to people across India and also across the world. And I want to take you to another interactive segment called the Buzzword Bingo. And this is where I would give you a couple of buzzwords or phrases related to your work. And you have to respond with a quick explanation or insight, maybe in a very small brief, like a two-line explanation in a layman's perspective. Phygital.
It's a combination of physical and digital, and it blends the user experience so seamlessly that the citizen who visits the location is able to do any form of transaction that they want to do in a very user friendly way.
Lovely. Financial inclusion.
Financial inclusion is bringing people who were not covered in the banking and financial domain into the mainstream financial system.
Lovely. So making it inclusive for all people of all age groups and income brackets and everything. Fantastic. AI in governance.
AI is kind of bringing a lot of innovation in the way citizens are reached out by the government, right? Especially with so much of data set available right now, right? So makes it very seamless for both the government to reach to a wider base of citizens, and for citizens to kind of avail it a quick and innovative and seamless way the services that government has to offer.
Lovely. And lastly, agent assisted services.
uh, Basically the local entrepreneur whom you know, so in your own habitation, you are comfortable with, so if you are getting an assisted service through that person, that's an agent assisted model, and it makes it very nice experience, and it's in a trusted environment for you within your own area. So Thompson
Yes,
is
sir.
someone who wears multiple hats through PR, advertising, cinema, entertainment, and branding. Right. How do you see the next wave of entertainment, branding, creativity, and technology connecting with each other to reach the audience?
Well, that's a fantastic question. Thank you. So you put me on the spot. But to answer this, I think technology amplifies creativity. I think, and a creative person has a vision, and technology makes it very streamlined and very structured. And today we have access to AI, we have augmented reality, then we have virtual reality, and all of these aspects beautifully bring out the creativity in a more structured way. And thanks to technology itself, because the precision in delivery that technology brings just empowers professionals like me or anybody else who's wanting to bring out the creativity to the world, but in a larger format. So and maybe the vision is bigger because of access to technology. So definitely it's something that is a boon, and I think I will continuously latch on to upgrading myself with technology upgrades to see how I can better my craft as a musician, as a content creator, as a publicist, and as a brand executive, brand consultant, to make the entire creative process beautiful, to relate, to make it more relatable, to make it more scalable, and to make it more impactful. Thank you for asking that question. And I have just a few more questions to ask you, because I'm sure since you asked me about the entertainment industry, I would love to know, is BLS E-Services going to enter the advertising world?
See, we are creating a lot of content on our financial literacy drives, right? And digital literacy drives, because the citizens need to kind of understand and then make an informed decision. So, we are kind of building a nice little product called BLS Advert, right?
Oh,
Which can be played on a television, let's say, behind the person who is sitting and delivering the agent service, the assisted service, right? And citizens are coming at while they are completing their transaction, they can also see the television and get the financial literacy content. And because of that, building the BLS Advert system, we believe that that can also reach out to brands and who want to reach the hinterland, right? Uh, and these are typically media dark areas, right? So
Yeah.
you don't have other avenues of showing the brand. So over time maybe that could
Be a
an
model.
area of interest, right? Also to create more earning opportunity for the entrepreneur in the related also.
Oh, for entrepreneurs in general. Well, thank you for sharing that insight, and we really do hope that comes into play very soon. And so, Loknath sir, I would love for you to share some knowledge, suggestions, and advice to our young viewers, whether they are fresh graduates or IITians who are just passing out and getting into the corporate world, or and also rather youngsters from school and college kids who are watching podcasts, who have that knack to learn and grow and develop their skills and develop themselves as individuals. What would you as a professional want to advise them?
See, India today is a large growing economy, and it represents a lot of opportunities, right? So for the people who are coming out of premier institutions, I believe they know it for sure that they have to delve into this kind of entrepreneurship model and kind of develop new products and services, which makes an impact in our society, right? For youngsters who are in the school and college, my way of looking at it that people should develop digital and financial literacy while they are still in the school and college. That would help them in the future.
Well, very well said, and I completely resonate with that, because I think digital literacy and financial literacy, very very important aspects which sometimes we kind of overlook. But as you get into a phase, as sir is right now, and where we are in life as well, we do understand as adults the importance of financial literacy and digital literacy now in 2024, and that message by Loknath sir is golden for all of you, and we do hope that you take this as a learning and implement it through all the exposure that you have in today's digital world. Well, on that note, sir, we have a small surprise for you from our wonderful partners who have beautifully given us a token of thanks for you. And I'd like to start with this brand called Ashnam. They are a premium home decor brand, and they make fantastic polyresin figures. And this is something beautiful from them.
Thank you so
And you're welcome. And there's one more. This is a wonderful brand. This is another startup entrepreneur from Delhi called Upsnack, and they make a unique kind of coffee called Procket. It's protein and coffee combined, and they make different flavors of peanut butter. So I'm sure people at home will love this. There's something more. A wonderful token from our hospitality partner Novotel. This is for you, and we really, really appreciate your time, your effort, your valuable insights as a professional in the corporate world to come and share such golden thoughts with our viewers and with me. And finally, this is another gesture from my team at Throne of Art, and thank you for being our valuable guest on Thomson Andrews show Unveiling Journeys, and for unveiling your journey at BLS E-Services.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best. And we hope that all our viewers will continue to get inspired, and we will stay in touch on the growth, and we wish BLS E-Services all the best for its future endeavors.
Thank you so much.